Ben Shapiro blasts CNN's Bakari Sellers, busts media narrative that no one knew about Biden's deteriorating health. Now, I don't agree with Ben Shapiro on a few things, mainly his take on the whole Israel stuff, but and what he did to Candace, I don't agree with. But I do agree with him on this. We all knew about Biden's deteriorating health. We talked about it for years. We talked about it when he was running in 2020. The media ignored it. They called it a conspiracy theory. And in more recent times, just a few weeks ago, they used to call it deepfakes when we were pointing out all of Biden's deficits and his how his mental acuity seems like it was doing terrible. So we're going to talk a little bit about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon, and that's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from the Daily Wire's Amanda Prestigiacomo. Sorry, I killed her name. Amanda, we'll call her Amanda P. And she reports that Daily Wire emeritus and best-selling author Ben Shapiro swiped CNN commentator and former state rep Bakari Sellers during an appearance on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher on Friday. The back and forth started when Shapiro noted that Democrats are in the worst possible position after President Joe Biden's news conference following a NATO summit on Thursday, since the president did just well enough to argue he shouldn't be dumped by the party while still being incoherent at times. And that's the same point I made. The conservative quip that Biden is, quote, mostly dead, which is still slightly alive, which is exactly what you're looking for if you're a Republican. Astonishingly, Sellers, in response, went to bat for Biden and told Shapiro he has no reason to believe Biden wouldn't finish out a second term. Really? Shapiro, with a smile on his face, said to Sellers, no reason, zero reason. Host Bill Maher even swooped in and told Sellers, I'm surprised you're carrying this kind of water for Biden. The former state rep responded that Biden is the nominee and said the focus on Biden decline is a failure of our foundation and media. So let's just play the clip here. Here we go.
Some people just present as old, and that is not going to get better. He just gives Grandpa's Last Christmas
Listen,
vibes.
I'm enjoying the hell out of this, right? Like, as a Republican, I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Oh, it's great. I mean, last night was a wonderful night because it's what you said. He is mostly dead, which is still slightly alive, right? Which is exactly what you're looking for if you're a Republican. Like in my synagogue, it's an Orthodox synagogue. The Orthodox tend to vote for Donald Trump at very, very high rates. We have never said a prayer for the health of the president like we are currently saying a prayer for the health of the president. We would like him to remain in precisely the state he is, all the way until just after the election. That'd be great.
I hear that, but it also discounts the fact that this president actually has 3.5 years of accomplishment, regardless of whether or not he's 78, 79.
No accomplishment.
Do you think he's going to finish out a second term?
Yes. I have no reason to believe. I'm not wishing
No
death
reason?
upon the man.
Zero reason?
No,
Like,
I feel like
I'm surprised.
My biggest, go ahead.
I'm just
The audience
surprised
is
you're
laughing
carrying
at
this
him.
kind of water because, I mean, it's
He's the nominee.
I know, but this is all not the relevant issue, which is the polls, the election, who can win, is it going to get better? His performance every moment of the rest of the campaign is going to be bigger than any message.
The suspense is awesome. It's like watching. It's
NASCAR.
Will he fall into a volcano? I don't know.
It is
That's also
NASCAR.
a failure of our foundation and media. I mean, look,
But that's not going to change.
Because the media covered it up for like 2 years.
Yeah, they covered it up for like 2 years, longer than 2 years. Shapiro also took on the left's latest narrative that no one knew about how bad the Biden mental decline was until his disastrous debate 2 weeks ago. He explained that folks on the right had been talking about Biden's deterioration for years, contrary to the the Democrats and their allies in the media claims. So I'm not really going to read it. I'm just going to I'll play the clip in a second. But the conservative went on to detail recent leaks that seem to evidence a cover-up of the issue by some of the White House. So let's play that clip here.
I think the case that you're making for Democrats is actually the same case that I've made with Republicans, which is fall in pragmatic. Right? Not fall in like, not fall in love, fall in pragmatic. What you're saying is he's the nominee, he's going to be the nominee, so stop yelling at each other and undercutting his chances, right? That's the reason why so many Republicans have also basically said, listen, I opposed Donald Trump in the primaries, I opposed him in 2016, I actually didn't vote in 2016, in 2020 I voted for him because he was running against a candidate I liked worse, but what you now have is a set of parties who are pragmatically backing their candidate. The question that I have for Democrats is that the most pragmatic move? And I think one of the core assumptions that you're making is that nothing is going to move Joe Biden, which is really a referendum on Joe Biden. Right? Why isn't Joe Biden looking at the reality on the ground and saying to himself, I am not the best man for this job. The chances I finish out a second term are very close to zero. Everyone knows this. So why is Joe Biden doing that? That's the question I want to know. I want to know why people think that he's going to finish out a second term. He doesn't think that. I don't think anyone thinks that. And the other thing I want to know is why it is that for 2 long years, anyone who pointed out that he was very unlikely to finish the second term was labeled some sort of crazy kook. You know how many leaks have come out in the last 3 weeks alone about the kind of insanity that's been going on at the White House? They haven't had a cabinet meeting in 9 months. Why did it take until now for us to find that out? We know the foreign leaders in 2022 were going to meetings with him, and they were bewildered at what they were seeing. Why are we finding that out now?
They echoed his great success yesterday, though. I mean, we saw the prime ministers come out and say that. And you want to question, but if you want to question the people around him, that's fine. But
I'm
also
questioning him.
That's fine. But what you can't question, though, is the list of accomplishments.
Here they keep repeating the same thing and can't argue the point that this man is deteriorating. And he has no accomplishments, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, this man's health is deteriorating, and all he keeps saying is, "Oh, but what have he done in the past 3.5 years?" So that's going to be the Democrats' talking point. They're not going to speak to how his health is deteriorating, but it's not going to go away. People are going to keep questioning him. People are going to keep pointing out his mumbling, bumbling, stumbling around, his misspeaks, and he's going to continue to be more memes made of Joe Biden and his presidency. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.